Get ready for our next vlog, where we dive into the amazing life of Alexander the Great. The hunt for the usurper Bessus and the quest to conquer the easternmost reaches of the Persian Empire led Alexander the Great and his army into one of the most formidable natural barriers on Earth, the Hindu Kush Mountains. In the harsh winter of 330 to 329 BCE, the Macedonians faced an epic struggle against extreme cold, deep snow, starvation, and dizzying altitudes as they pressed onwards into lands unknown to the Greek world. Having pacified Aria and Drangiana, and with two of Darius III's assassins, Barcentes and later Satybarzanes, dealt with, Alexander the Great fixed his sights firmly on Bessus, the self-proclaimed Artaxerxes V, who had retreated into his Bactrian stronghold. To reach Bactria from the south, Alexander had to lead his army across the formidable mountain range known to the Greeks as the Peloponnesus, or the Indian Caucasus, today identified as the Hindu Kush. This massive mountain system, with peaks soaring to over 20,000 feet, formed a daunting natural barrier between the Iranian plateau and the plains of Central Asia. Alexander began his march towards the Hindu Kush in the late autumn or early winter of 330 BCE, a notoriously difficult time to attempt such a crossing. The decision to proceed during winter underscores his relentless drive and his determination to give Bessus no respite to consolidate his power or gather further support. The route took him through Arachosia, roughly southern Afghanistan, where he founded another city, Alexandria in Arachosia, likely modern Kandahar, to serve as a strategic base and administrative center for this remote region. As the Macedonian army began its ascent into the Hindu Kush, they faced conditions unlike anything they had previously encountered. The terrain was incredibly rugged, with narrow, treacherous passes and steep, icy slopes. The weather was brutal, with biting winds, severe frosts, and deep, drifting snow that made progress agonizingly slow and perilous. The soldiers, many of whom were from the warmer climates of Greece and Macedon, suffered immensely from the extreme cold, frostbite, snow blindness, and altitude sickness. Supplies, already difficult to procure in these sparsely populated regions, became critically scarce. The army faced starvation. Men were reduced to eating raw meat from their baggage animals, and even resorted to consuming unripe or toxic plants, leading to illness. Fuel for fires was also in short supply, exacerbating the suffering from the cold. Ancient historians like Arrian and Courtius Rufus paint a vivid picture of the army's ordeal. Soldiers slipped and fell on icy paths, sometimes to their deaths in deep ravines. Horses and baggage animals perished in large numbers due to exhaustion, cold, and lack of fodder. The sheer physical effort of marching through deep snow at high altitudes pushed the men to their limits. Morale, though generally high under Alexander's inspiring leadership, was severely tested. Alexander himself shared the hardships with his men, marching on foot, refusing any special treatment, and constantly encouraging them with his own example of endurance and determination. He reportedly helped dig out soldiers buried in snowdrifts and ensured that the sick and frostbitten received what little care was available. Despite these appalling conditions, the army pressed on. After many weeks of struggle, they finally traversed the main range of the Hindu Kush, likely via a pass such as the Kawak Pass, around 11,600 feet. The crossing was a remarkable feat of human endurance and logistical perseverance, comparable in its audacity and difficulty to Hannibal's later crossing of the Alps on the northern slopes of the Hindu Kush. Before descending fully into the plains of Bactria, Alexander identified a strategic location at the foot of the mountains. at the crossroads of routes leading to Bactria, India, and the West. Here, in the spring of 329 BCE, he founded yet another city, Alexandria Caucasum, Alexandria by the Caucasus. As the Greeks sometimes conflated the Hindu Kush with the Caucasus Range, this city, possibly located near modern Bagram or Cherikar in Afghanistan, was intended to be a major military and administrative stronghold, commanding the southern approaches to Bactria and serving as a base for further operations in Central Asia. He settled it with Macedonian veterans, Greek mercenaries, and local inhabitants, creating a new Hellenic outpost in this remote part of the world. The founding of Alexandria Caucasum marked the end of the arduous mountain crossing. The army, though depleted and exhausted, had overcome one of the most formidable natural obstacles imaginable. They now stood ready to descend into Bactria and confront Bessus. Bessus, in Bactra, also known as Zariaspa, modern Bulk, the capital of his satrapy, had used the winter months to try and rally support. He had raised a Bactrian army and attempted to enlist the aid of the fierce Scythian and Sogdian tribes from across the Oxus River, Amudarya. He also continued his scorched earth policy, devastating the countryside in front of Alexander's advance to deny him supplies. However, Bessus's authority as the self-proclaimed Artaxerxes V was far from secure. His murder of Darius had alienated many, and his forces were no match for Alexander's battle-hardened veterans should they meet in open battle. Alexander's successful crossing of the Hindu Kush in the dead of winter, a feat previously considered almost impossible, had a profound psychological impact. It demonstrated his unstoppable determination and the incredible capabilities of his army. Bessus and his followers, learning that Alexander had overcome this massive natural barrier and was now poised to invade Bactria, were likely thrown into disarray. The unknown lands of Central Asia lay before Alexander, but he had proven that neither mountains nor winter could halt his relentless advance. The hunt for Bessus was about to enter its next decisive phase. I really hope you loved the vlog. Stick around for more fun, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe.